Hello, my dear students, welcome back to our YouTube channel. So, today in this video, we are going to see the different types of chemical reactions. In that, mainly, we will be discussing combination reaction. Okay, so before moving into combination reaction, let's see what are the different types of chemical reaction. So, chemical reactions are mainly categorized into five types. First one is combination reaction, second one is decomposition reaction, displacement reaction, double displacement reaction, oxidation and reduction reaction. So in this video we are going to see what is this combination reaction, and we will be discussing different examples for combination reactions. So let's get started. Combination reaction. Okay, so from the name itself, it is there. Combination, combine. So you know combination or combine means what? Two or more reactants will be combining and it will be forming a single product. Okay, so combine. So two or more reactants will be combining and we will be getting what? We will be getting a one single product. That is known as combination reaction. So one of the very important example that is given in your textbook is reaction of quicklime with water. So this is a very important question from the board exam point of view also. So as you can see from this picture, quicklime, okay, this is a common name. So chemically, quicklime means it is calcium oxide. Calcium oxide is known as quicklime. So this is also one important question, that is what is the chemical name of quicklime or what is the common name? Okay, what is this calcium oxide? So calcium oxide is commonly called as quicklime and its chemical formula is CaO. So this calcium oxide, we are making it to react with water. So what we will do in this experiment is we will take a beaker, we will be adding water. To the water, we will be adding what? Calcium oxide solution. Once we are doing this experiment, what we can see is this calcium oxide reacts vigorously with water. Vigorously means it is a very fast reaction. Okay, calcium oxide reacts vigorously with water and has a result of chemical reaction which is taking place between calcium oxide and water. What happens here is large amount of heat is also evolved. Got it? So calcium oxide, when it is reacted with water, it is a very fast reaction, and as a result of this reaction, what has happened? A large amount of heat is evolved. So this is how the chemical reaction is taking place. So now we are going to describe it chemically, that is chemically what is happening and what is the chemical product which is formed. So calcium oxide, okay, you can see calcium oxide, when it is reacted with water, H2O, when it is reacted with water, it will be producing what? Calcium hydroxide, that is CaOH twice. This is calcium hydroxide. So this calcium hydroxide is also having a common name. Calcium hydroxide is generally called as Slackert lime. So we can say that whenever quicklime is reacted with water, it will be forming Slackert lime. Slackert lime chemically means calcium hydroxide. Along with that, heat is also evolved during this reaction. So this is how the reaction of calcium oxide and water. As you can see from this chemical equation, we are taking mainly two reactants. We are taking calcium oxide as well as water, and as a result of the chemical reaction, what is formed? Only a single product is formed, that is calcium hydroxide. Hence, we can say that this reaction is an example of combination reaction. Hope this experiment is clear to you. So generally, combination reaction means a reaction in which two or more reactants will be combining and we will be getting a single product. So the example of combination reaction is reaction of quicklime with water. Okay, let's move to the next slide. Now, you have seen when you are building a new house and all, you have seen you will go for whitewashing the wall, right? So, after whitewashing, if you keep it for 2 or 3 days, you can see there is a formation of shiny surface on your wall. So, this is very simple chemical reaction that is taking place over there. So mainly for whitewashing, we will be using a white colored liquid, right? So, or white colored solution we are using. So this white colored solution is nothing but it is the solution of slaked lime. Okay, so we have seen slaked lime means calcium hydroxide. So solution of calcium hydroxide will be taken or will be used for whitewashing the wall. Once whitewashing is done, what we can see is this calcium hydroxide, that is calcium hydroxide which we have applied on the wall, will be reacting slowly with the carbon dioxide. In air, there are plenty of carbon dioxide. So this calcium hydroxide will be reacting slowly with carbon dioxide which is present in the air. As a result, what will happen is a thin layer, okay, a thin layer of calcium carbonate is formed on the wall. Okay, so this calcium hydroxide, whatever we have applied on the wall, will be reacting with the carbon dioxide which is present in the air. As a result of that, what will happen? A thin layer of calcium carbonate will be formed on the wall. So, as a result of the formation of calcium carbonate, what we can see? We can see the presence of a shiny appearance on the wall. Got it? So the chemical reaction which is taking place over here is we have taken calcium hydroxide solution or we have applied this calcium hydroxide solution. As a result, it undergoes reaction with carbon dioxide and it will be forming a layer of calcium carbonate CaCO3. Along with that, water will be produced that will be evaporated off. So this is also very important question asked in the board exam. Okay, so in order to get slaked lime, solution of slaked lime, initially what we have to take? We have to take calcium oxide. Okay, this calcium oxide powder should be reacted with water. As a result, we will be getting a solution of calcium hydroxide or a solution of slaked lime, and this solution we will be used for whitewashing the wall. Got it? As a result of whitewashing, it will be reacting with the carbon dioxide and forms a layer of calcium carbonate. So this is also a very important question from the board exam point of view. Now let's move to the next slide. So, in the first reaction, that is reaction of calcium oxide with water, what we have seen? We have seen the evolution of heat, right? That is, heat is getting evolved. Okay, so whenever a chemical reaction is taking place and there is a liberation of heat, if there is a liberation of heat or heat is getting evolved in that reaction, we call such reactions as exothermic reactions. Okay, we call such reactions as what? Exothermic reaction. So reaction in which heat will be released along with the formation of the product, that is called exothermic reaction. So you just remember like this, exo connected with exit. Exit means you have to leave, right? Likewise, exothermic means the heat will be released as a result of the reaction. Okay, so such reactions are called exothermic reaction. So one of the example of exothermic reaction is first reaction that we have discussed, that is reaction of calcium oxide with water, or reaction of quicklime with water to produce slaked lime or calcium hydroxide. Along with that, we have mentioned plus heat, right? Heat is also evolved during this reaction. Okay, so these are some of the reactions in which heat is evolved. Okay, first example is reaction of acid and water. Okay, so whenever an acid and water is mixed together, it is an example of exothermic reaction. Rusting is an example of exothermic reaction. Campfire is an example of exothermic, their heat is evolved, right? Nuclear fission is an example of exothermic reaction. Okay, freezing of water into ice. So in freezing of water into ice, water will be liberating heat. Okay, its temperature should decrease. In order to decrease the temperature, it will be liberating heat. So these all are the examples of exothermic reactions. Clear? So now my question is, like a respiration, or you're familiar with the word cellular respiration, right? So cellular respiration means what? Like what will happen here is, in case of cellular respiration, whatever the food that we have taken, it will be break down and it will be stored in our body or stored in our cells as glucose. Okay, so once we are doing heavy exercises, or once we are doing the work, what will happen is the energy will be produced, or energy will be liberated here. So, whether the cellular respiration is an exothermic reaction or an endothermic reaction. Okay, so that is what we are going to discuss in the next slide. Is cellular respiration an endothermic or an exothermic process? So you will be getting confused. What is this endothermic reaction, right? So exothermic reaction means heat will be liberated out. That is relate with exit, I told. Now endo means, you just remember like enter. Enter means coming in or taking in, right? So endothermic reaction means a chemical reaction which is taking place by absorbing heat. Okay, the chemical reactants will be taking up the heat, then only the chemical reaction is taking place. So the question which is asked here is whether cellular respiration is an exothermic reaction or an endothermic reaction. So the answer is cellular respiration is an exothermic process. Why? Because in this process, or in cellular respiration, energy releasing chemical reactions will be taking place. That is, what will happen is, whatever this glucose is produced and other nutrients will be broken down, and it will be producing heat as a byproduct. Okay, so in case of cellular respiration, the glucose and other nutrients will break down, and what it will be producing? It will be producing heat as one of the byproduct. Okay, since heat is produced during this reaction, we can call it as an exothermic reaction. So cellular respiration equation is also given here, C6H12O6. C6H12O6 means it is called glucose. Okay, in cellular respiration, what will happen? Glucose will be combining with the oxygen. Okay, glucose will be combining with oxygen. As a result, breakdown of glucose will be taking place, and carbon dioxide gas will be produced, water will be produced, and ATP means energy. Energy is also liberated. Since energy is liberated during this reaction, we can call cellular respiration as an exothermic reaction. Got it? So hope this video is clear to you. Combination reaction we have discussed in the video, and also the examples of combination reaction. Along with that, we have discussed very important another reaction, that is exothermic reaction. Hope you all have understood, liked the video. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel, give a like, comment, and please do share this video with your friends if you find it is very useful. Thank you so much.